That's with me.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Public safety and emergency management is canceled this evening, but I have one motion, one bit of information I'd like to bring forward. We had a pretty major gas leak on the east side today. A pipe was struck while they were doing something, repair or something to that house on the corner of Parker and Carpenter Street. And they wouldn't let me down. They wouldn't believe I was Sheriff of Public Safety, so they wouldn't let me down the street. No, that's not true. They were real nice. But the fireman did tell me that at that point, that was early this afternoon, that the gas company was quite certain that it was under control and no problem, but they did evacuate quite a few homes around there. But I think our public safety people deserve a round of applause, because both the police and fire did a great job, no panic, got the people out of the homes that needed to be got out of the homes, and had that area really secured and very nicely done. While I was there, I didn't see anybody that was offended by not being able to get to their house, or had a couple of people show up that were concerned about somebody that was in a house. There was one person that was handicapped in one of the homes and needed oxygen and whatnot, and our personnel was exemplary today handling that situation. So I'd like to personally thank them on behalf of Public Safety and Emergency Management and the rest of the council, because they did a great job today, and we have a lot to be proud of.
Excellent. That's great.
Okay. I will be calling for a committee meeting to discuss that one motion I have from the fire department, but I was unable to get a hold of the chief over the weekend, and yesterday being a holiday, I couldn't get a hold of him. And today, he was up to here all day, so
Sure.
I will get in touch with him before next week.
Okay. I call the Ordinance, Election, and Legislative Matters Committee to order at 7:02. I only have one motion. From the docket of September 1st, 2015, I entertain a motion to strike the following from the docket: to delete section 914 in its entirety and insert the following: new language submitted May 22nd, 2018, public hearing on June 19th, 2018.
Second.
Thank you. This has been worked on many times. It's related to the peddlers and hawkers, and I think at this point, we can strike it, and then if somebody else does want to pick it up, or if there's anything else going on that it does need to be revisited, we can certainly do that. But at this point, it's been added to so many times that it would almost make sense to start fresh. So that's what I've kind of decided to do with that. Any other questions? Go ahead, Councilor Johnson.
Thank you. This is something I worked on previous term with former President Cook, Mr. Withers, the police chief. I think it makes sense at this point, because what we have now doesn't resemble what we had then, and that's through nobody's fault. I think these things continue to kind of grow and come in and take a life of their own. I'm happy to see it struck, so we can kind of go back to the drawing board, see what makes sense. I think also the timing of when this was introduced has a lot to do with it as well. I think I'd be curious to see if there's still such a burning need for this as there was, but I think it's something that I would probably look to introduce myself over the next month or so.
Okay, great.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I think now would be a good time to remind the public who's watching that we do have rules and regulations as it pertains that are on the books. This was new business. We still have laws here in the city of Attleboro as it pertains to hawkers and peddlers. And if someone comes knocking at your door, they have to have a license from the city clerk's office to be able to do that. And if they don't, then you call the police. if you see them, if they give you any sort of difficult, like I see on social media regularly, people, can you show me your electric bill? Can you, any of those kinds of things? There is a process. Instead of going to social media, pick up the phone and call the police department. Ask them if they have a permit. If they don't have the permit, they have no right to be knocking on your door. So that's just as we're talking about hawkers and peddlers, I think it's a good reminder to do that. Thank you.
Any other comments? No. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the motion passes. That's all the business for ordinance election tonight, and I will move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Adjourned at 7:05. I call to order the Personnel Human Service Committee to order at 7:06. Committee members are myself, Counselor Reynolds, and Counselor Blair, and I only have one motion. On the docket of October 16, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor regarding a submission for confirmation by the honorable body to appoint Devin McCurry, 714 County Street, Attleboro, to fill an expired term on the Attleboro Youth Commission, term to expire February 2021.
Second.
Thank you. So I invited him to join us in a couple of weeks so we can meet him. This is a gentleman that will be just joining the Youth Commission, or I think it's a gentleman, Devin. It is, okay, thank you. So we can ask questions at that time, but it's always exciting to see individuals, especially young individuals that want to get involved in the city. That's pretty much it. Any other comments or questions? Go ahead.
Devin's going to be a great addition to the Youth Commission. He started coming to the meetings probably the end of, well, probably beginning of September. He's already just, he can't vote or anything, but he's still here participating. Really excited, so it's cool to see the membership of the Youth Commission grow. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. I also just wanted to let everyone know, I will be inviting the temporary appointment for the city solicitor. It's a 90-day temporary appointment, but I will be inviting her to the next committee meeting so the whole council can meet her. I think it's an opportunity to ask some questions then, and so I'll be reaching out. And that's pretty much it for my committee, and I move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Adjourn at 7:07. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd like to call the City Property and Claims Committee to order at 7:07. And the members of my committee that are present are obviously myself, Counselor Blair, and Counselor Holmes. So I have two motions tonight, and the first one is from the docket of, actually both of them are from the docket of October 16th. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor regarding communication from Director of Veteran Services, Ken Battershare, regarding the donation of $500 in Stop and Shop gift certificates from the Disabled Veterans, American Veterans, Chapter 91 of Attleboro. In accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to accept these generous donations to the City of Attleboro.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion passes. And I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor regarding a communication from Legal Secretary Allison Wood regarding items that the Department of Public Works would like to declare surplus. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to declare the following as surplus and available for disposition. A 1997 GMC Jimmy, the VIN number is 1GTCT18W9VK520499, and it's in very poor condition. And there is also an unknown Leeboy Road roller. It was purchased in 1994. The VIN number is unknown, but the condition is inoperable.
Second.
Thank you. Again, any concerns or questions? I myself personally think it makes, it's self-explanatory, but any other concerns, questions, comments? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes, and that is all the business City Property and Claims Committee has this evening, so I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And we are adjourned at 7:09.
I'd like to call to order the License Committee meeting at 7:09. I have two items. From the docket of September 18, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of Rogelio Diaz of 41 West Cole Street, number 2, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, for a Class 2 license at 537 Washington Street, South Attleboro, for the purchase and sale of secondhand vehicles. I know, I'm sorry, I added stuff just to make it more clear. This is Landmark Auto Sales for 15 display spaces and 3 customer spaces.
Second.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We already had the public hearing on this, and this one fell through the cracks. And I'd just like to get it out of committee so we can get this gentleman his license. Anybody have any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, and I have one other item that you won't see on your copy. This is regarding Looney Tuned auto sales. So I gave everybody a packet of information. You'll see 2 letters from the inspection department regarding non-compliance. I'm sure you remember these folks being in the news and such, and Bill McDonough had sent them information regarding them being out of compliance. They never responded. We sent them a second letter. They never responded. We sent them a second notice where Bill recommends suspension or revocation of their Class 2 license. And then you'll see the city solicitor's information regarding the process. So I would like to vote this out of committee, and then we'll call for a public hearing. So, I would entertain a motion to proceed with the revocation process of Looney Tune Auto Sales, Class 2 license, 826 Washington Street, Attleboro, Mass. 02703.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Does anybody, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't ask anybody if they had any questions. I apologize. I can't. Can I do anything? Can we go back?
Close the public hearing on the 20th.
Not yet.
So when you
Does
do that,
anybody have any questions?
We have to go for the public hearing.
Public
We can
hearing?
talk about that.
All right, so I'd like to have a public hearing on November 20th. Does anybody have any questions?
Second.
so,
I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm listening.
I would suggest that you reframe your motion to say, entertain a motion to hold a public hearing on November 20th, 2018 regarding Looney Tuned auto sales violation of approved site plan for Class 2 license and seek suspension or revocation of Class 2 license. I think we have to be very specific. It's on the second page, or just read the
On the
notice
second-
from
oh, okay.
the solicitor on the second page of her.
So I will withdraw my second.
Thank you.
If you want to read it again, since you withdrew.
Withdrew a second, I'm gonna read that again.
With that notice. Except there is that, just if it says 480, 4826, so it's 826, just ignore the 4.
Okay, so you withdrew your second, thank you. So I entertain a motion to hold a public hearing on November 20th for the revocation process of Looney Tune Auto Sales, 826 Washington Street, Attleboro, 02703, including for the city council to vote on the continued status, including potential modification, suspension, or revocation of the Class 2 license.
Second.
Anybody have any questions? Yes, Mr. Conti?
So just before you came on the city council, I went down there, as Heather and I were trying to cover up some of your work so you could hit the ground running. And I went to Looney Tunes, and I remember meeting with him, and he was very pleasant. He told me that he was gonna cut down a bunch of trees in the back and expand his parking lot. And I'm wondering, have you had an opportunity to talk to him personally?
I have not.
Okay.
Council Jackson?
If I may, through you, but he's not responding to the building inspector. So
That's very
that's,
peculiar.
yep, and so that's not a good sign.
No, it's,
So I
I agree. It's
I
an
agree
issue.
on this public hearing.
Yeah, I agree in public hearing too, but
They'll get notified.
he was so pleasant to me when I last visited him. I'm quite surprised at his behavior.
Well, sometimes I'm pleasant to people and I really don't mean it. Just saying.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
Just a comment, not congratulations, but good job on this, because this isn't easy to do, to go through this
Read the
process.
motion.
No, but to actually come forward and decide that this is the right thing to do, and to Council Jackson's point, you know, the first one was February 23rd, then July 11th. I mean, we've given this guy enough opportunity, and let's see what the public hearing says, and Council Conti, that could be your opportunity to ask him questions.
Right, and
Yeah,
there have been complaints and
I blame him,
issues.
'cause there's gotta be more to the story.
There have been complaints and issues with this area, and,
President Cooper.
oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Google it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm trying to figure out how to say it and not say
Yeah,
it.
yeah, Google it. And then, you know,
Some of your questions may be answered, Council Conti.
thank you.
I'm sorry, did you have a question? Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. That's all the business I have this evening. I'd like to adjourn at 7:16.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Budget and Appropriations Committee is canceled. However, I did call for a committee meeting next week at 6:30. There's some business in my committee as it relates to the final cherry sheet for fiscal year 2019, the recapitulation. So I figured that it would be a good opportunity where I think Deb Gould is already coming down. I spoke with her this morning. She'll be coming down, really kind of going over this with us. I think it's a good opportunity, and then we will still be meeting the following night.
I had some questions about that, so I'll send them to Virginia so that you can get them to
Great.
Deb. Should be ready.
But that's all. Short of that, I have no other business tonight.
Just remind everybody of your special meeting.
On, the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Have we found a home for it?
Not yet, but
Okay. So we will be meeting next Wednesday night as well. We'll have that meeting where Deb, Laura, Barry, the mayor will all be present. We'll be talking about the senior tax exemption. It's a joint between Diana and myself, our committees, to go over the senior tax exemption, some of the debt Bible information that we're looking for. So if anyone has any specific questions, again, as Council Cobus was saying, feel free to email them to me. At that point, I can make sure that we're ready to go. So, you know, I did it on an off night because I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. But even more so, let's make sure that, you know, if you have questions, let's get them out so no one's blindsided, so we can have the most robust, meaningful conversation we can.
I call to order Transportation and Traffic Committee at 7:18. I don't have any motions this evening, but I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of an update. We do have a Traffic Study Commission meeting scheduled for tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock here in Chambers. Unfortunately, we're having some challenges maintaining a quorum. We have 2 positions open, so if there's anybody out there in TV land that has some experience or a lot of experience or a whole big bunch of experience with regards to transportation, traffic, and safety, I would really appreciate if you would send in a letter to the mayor asking him for an appointment to the Traffic Study Commission, because it's challenging, and there's a lot of business that we look for a recommendation from them, but unless they can have a quorum, we can't do that, and that means things get bogged down here on the council. So they were generous enough to agree to meet tomorrow evening so that we can have a conversation about business that's in Mr. Cobus's committee that they need to weigh in on. Again, they're reviewing Beagle Club Road, they're reviewing a couple of different stop signs, things like that, but we are having some challenges with that. Other than that, I have no business. Call for an adjournment at 7:19.
Second.
It's either Reynolds or Conti. Who's that?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned at 7:19.
Zoning and land use is canceled for tonight.
I'm gonna call the capital improvements to order at 7:20. I also like to make an announcement that will be here next week. There has been developments on ARA as we've expected, and that will all come to a head next week. Additionally, I've made the request to be on ARA distribution as you requested and have received nothing. I've made the request to be on the distribution for the School Building Commission as requested and received nothing. I made the request to be on the Municipal Building Commission as requested, received nothing. I requested a copy to send me late from April, received nothing. So this is everything this week. Do you have anything to add to that? Yes, Councilor Cooper.
I know Gary had the original dam report, so maybe Gary might be able to shed some light.
I have the original.
Okay.
That's severely dated.
Yes.
I was hoping to give the councilors the last
The
report.
latest, okay, perfect. And I do want to make a few comments about the ARA. Some of us know that and congratulate them on the closing. It did happen as planned. This is a proud moment for the board that in the agency, and remember, was really struggling in 2009, and there was discussion of can it survive, and there were a few members of this community, two that are still on the board that said yes it can in that room, and this was the plan that they laid out. They paid on the promise, and they've made the payment to the city, and now we have to clean up the mess we made with the $480,000 appropriation that is currently in your committee, Richard. So I think that this is all good at all angles for us to get the dump cleaned up. We got our money back with interest. There was no time to wait. Maybe the communication from us to them could have been better, because I thought the presentation that they did with the path forward was a good one. And again, they were struggling, and they spent countless hours rejuvenating and infusing enthusiasm in the projects that they were doing to bring them to where they are. And so they do have a board meeting. I spoke to the chairman of the Attleboro Redevelopment Authority with the mayor this afternoon, and they do have a meeting Thursday at 9 a.m. here at City Hall, and I will be here for the meeting to discuss how they sort of go about getting loans through other state agencies for some of these projects that they want to do. So it's all very good stuff happening at the Attleboro Redevelopment Authority. Thank you for living up to the commitments and the blood, sweat, and tears that happen sometimes behind closed doors, and the commitments that were made, whether they were verbal or written, they did it. And there are a lot of people, including myself from time to time, that didn't think it could happen, and they proved us wrong in that aspect. And thank you to all of them for the work they have done to get us where we are today. They are, I think you told me they are debt-free. They made the payment. They paid us today. So, thank you.
Well, thank you for your comments. Perhaps while you're at that meeting on Thursday at 9 a.m., you'll ask them why I'm being kept in the dark, because I knew none of that.
I think you could probably call Rick Correa, and he'll tell you exactly why.
Okay, very good, I will.
Thank you.
Yes, Heather.
With regards to the School Building Commission and the Municipal Building Commission, where there has been a switchover, her name escapes me.
Gail,
Have you talked to her?
yes?
And, because I've asked her for things, and she's really good about it, so you might want to ask again.
Maybe it's my mustache.
Maybe.
That's all the business that I have to talk about tonight, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Capital improvements adjourned at 7:24.
I'd like to call a Public Works Committee to order at, 7:24. I have three motions this evening to discuss. From the docket of October 2nd, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of National Grid and Verizon to install a push brace pole at the corner of First and Grove Streets, pole number 6555. Public hearing was held on October 2nd, 2018.
Second.
Thank you. Public hearing was held. We did not have anybody here to speak in favor nor against. Any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. In the docket of October 16th, 2018, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor regarding a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler requesting funds for approximately 19 road trench and sidewalk repairs due to recent water breaks and other patchwork throughout the city. Therefore, the mayor hereby requests this honorable body to transfer $23,546.25 from account 11241000-578,300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to the following: $3,465 to account 14201-000-5531010 Public Works Street Maintenance, $20,081.25 to account 14201-000-5301001 Public Works Professional Services. Upon approval, the available balance in reserved fund for transfer will be $192,447.60.
Second.
Thank you. We all know that there have been many, many water breaks throughout the city for quite some time, so this will just pick up on the repairs that need to be completed. This also will include any police details, because they will need, obviously, we've seen the police details out there on all these repairs and such throughout the city. Any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And lastly, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor regarding a communication from Director of Recreation Dennis Walsh requesting funds to make the necessary repairs to the fire sprinkler system at the Bartek Center. Therefore, the mayor hereby requests this honorable body to transfer $2,181.40 from account 11241000-578,300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1630100-524011 Recreation Maintenance of Buildings. Upon approval, the available balance in reserve fund for transfer will be $190,266.20.
Second.
Thank you. First and foremost, I do want to extend our condolences to Dennis Walsh and his family for the recent loss of his brother. Our heart goes out to them. Such a wonderful family. So, the Bartek Center was recently inspected, and they had found that the sprinkler system does need to be repaired, and of course, we do need to do this to bring it all back up to code. And the balance in his maintenance building account is only $525, but he's also waiting to get an estimate to pay two of his doors as well. So he has asked the mayor for this appropriation, which we have to do. So, any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I have no further business this evening for the Public Works Committee, but we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. We're all done.
Reporting for Special Committee on the Council's Rules of Procedures. I have asked Virginia to coordinate Council Cooper, Council Cobus, and Council Parika for a second week in December meeting. If you would kindly respond to her, we'll set that, otherwise it'll have to be next year. That's all I have,
Perfect.
and it's over.
Thank you. Good night.
Just like that.
Where's this going to pass away?